God bless you guys. This is Sean here from Faith Brings Change. I just want to come on here and share a few comments with you real fast. I'm not going to make this video too long. I just thought it was interesting. You know, you guys, if some of you know me, on this channel, some of you know me a little bit better than some other people, but I don't really celebrate the holidays kind of like, the Gentiles do. I don't, because I just did a lot of research, about them. And anytime you want to, if you're really celebrating Yeshua and you're not doing the other things associated with the tradition, I don't have any problem. It's just, it was interesting because today I happened to I've been watching for it. It's April 17th, and that's 2/17, and I know our calendar isn't technically marked the way the Hebrew calendar is, and the ancient one, the Enoch one, not even the one they're using today, the Hebrews, but nevertheless, it is for the second month of the 17th day. Actually, I would say we would say 4/17, but again, the Hebrew calendar, I believe the way they have their months is this is the second month of the civil year or something like that, and so that's where I'm getting the second number 2 from, 2/17. And so I was watching today. I'd been watching over 3 weeks for this day to watch for temptation, because the serpent came into the garden and deceived Eve, and that was the day of death, the second month of the 17th day. In the book of Jasher, that's when the serpent came in and deceived Eve, to eat. And it's very interesting that this, that the Easter eggs, for instance, it's based on this goddess Ishtar, and she was a goddess of sex and fertility, and we actually don't have any physical record of her. When you do the research, some people say she's Nimrod's wife, but if you do a further research, we don't have any real proof that Nimrod had the wife Semiramis, which they call Ishtar, or we don't have the proof even in the book of Jasher, and it talks about his wife, and it doesn't mention her, but it's a legend, but still it's associated with that. And the legend is that she had this son named Tammuz that was born on December 25th, and that legend was originally before we got anything else, before we got December 25th. That's where it came from. When the Catholics converted to Christianity, they had that tradition, and that Tammuz or Damus, or however there's different pronunciations for his name, but he basically, was born December 25th, and the legend was that she was having an affair with Nimrod, and then with another man, and Nimrod found out about it, and then she wanted to conceal it, so she tried to have him killed. That's the legend, at least. And she had him killed or something, and then, told everybody that the son of Tammuz was him reborn, basically, the sun god, Tammuz reborn, and he ended up growing up, and the legend was that they had sex, they were together, and it was sick, and the legend was that she said she was a woman, that in the garden that was going to crush the head of the serpent. So she was, or her son was, she was a woman who was, her seed was going to crush the head of the serpent in the garden. So she was saying almost like she's like Mary, like we would have today, our biblical Mary, and her son Tammuz would have been Christ. And so that's where we get December 25th. And the legend goes that she came from a moon egg. And her son Tammuz liked rabbits, and that's where you get Easter from. And one of her names is Ishtar, and like that Eastern, religions, and the reason why I don't celebrate is because it's the holidays based on the rabbit for sex and fertility, and that's one of the things I was watching Against Temptation, of the mind today, and it's very interesting that it is Easter. And so Christ, he didn't rise from the dead on the day that death came into the garden, and that's one of the things that represent this month. He told me that April 17th is for that day the serpent came into the garden, because none of us, we don't really have the calendar marked like we should. Their days in the Hebrew were 364, and even the Jews, from what I understand today, aren't really following the calendar the way it was. It was from the book of Enoch, the calendar. There's a restored calendar you can get. Nick Vanderlane or something like that, he has calendars you can look up and you can get. But the reason why it's good, and the reason why I try to look up and get those calendars, is because they followed, God taught Enoch basically the way the sun and the seasons worked and how to really correctly follow them. And if you could get your calendars right, you could learn a lot of days God did a lot of different things, and you'd be surprised, like certain days, he acts based on his biblical calendars. And so he somehow has a way of me watching for certain times when I don't even know they're, like this, for instance, I didn't even know it had anything to do with, I didn't know it was Easter today, but he has ways of showing me things, without that. So if you're in the Spirit, he will show you, he would show you different things as times and seasons, even if you don't know exact days and everything. He'll keep you watching at certain times. But I love you guys. It's good to celebrate the resurrection of the Lord any day. I don't wish Happy Easter to anybody because it's based off of Ishtar, not the mother of Christ, and it's based on it's a holiday that glorifies fertility and sex. That's why the whole reason why you see the Easter, like everybody says, what do Easter bunnies have to do with Christ? Easter eggs, they have nothing to do with it. They even tried to translate a time in the Bible, put the word Easter wrong, and basically say they were celebrating that, and Herod was. And Herod, who hates Jesus, why would he be celebrating a time when he was resurrected, when he hadn't even resurrected yet? And so it was totally crazy that they put that in there. There's different things in the Bible you can look up. But I love you guys. I pray you're all doing well. And if you are gonna really want to honor Christ's resurrection, don't take part in those Easter egg things or anything like that, or Easter egg hunts, or talk about that, or use those words, because it's based off of that foreign goddess. It's named after her. We got the holiday from the Catholics, so you need to trace it, and we need to know what we're saying when we're saying Easter. We're saying Happy Ishtar. Ishtar was that goddess of Babylon, the Sumerian goddess, and there's legends about the king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, and her together, and Nimrod together. I mean, I think she's just really, to be honest, I think she's a demon that they wrote legends about, but you don't really know. But it's still based off of that, that shady kind of Eastern mysticism and stuff. But if you are going to celebrate things, walk in the resurrection of Christ and don't sin. That's the best way you can glorify Christ's resurrection, is if you're going to live it, guys. But I love you. I'm going to let you go. I got food, that I got to put in the oven. My oven's hot right now, so I got to get out here. But I love you guys. I just thought I'd share that. Until next time, shalom.